It all started with a name that echoed in the culture long before streaming, viral videos, or algorithm-based playlists became prevalent: Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. This Cleveland group didn't just rap, they incorporated singing, played with the timing of their flows, and turned pain and resilience into music. When Kendrick Lamar, a major figure in contemporary hip-hop, openly recognized their influence on his work, it was more than a mere compliment. It was a cultural acknowledgement of their importance. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Hip Hop Showroom, where hip-hop and celebrity drama never sleep, so hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it. Kendricks Recognition sent ripples through the hip-hop community. As one of the most acclaimed rappers of his generation, he seldom offers praise unless it carries significant weight. His admiration for Bone Thugs, emphasizing how they shaped his understanding of rhythm, harmony, and delivery, indicated a deeper connection, a tribute to their legacy. Layzie Bone quickly expressed his appreciation, posting on Instagram, "Thank you for the kind words, love and respect King Kendrick Lamar the GOAT Cleveland to Cali." His response was short yet sincere, filled with genuine pride. This wasn't just a veteran relishing in accolades, it was a hip-hop pioneer honoring a younger leader who had taken the legacy into new territories. To truly understand the importance of this moment, one must reflect on the early 1990s when a group of young men from Cleveland introduced a style so distinctive that it shook the music industry. Bone Thugs-n-Harmony had a sound like no other. Their blend of rapid-fire rapping and melodic singing broke away from regional conventions. They transcended the confines of West Coast gangsta rap and East Coast lyricism, creating something entirely original that redefined how rappers approached flow. From songs like Thuggish Ruggish Bone to First of the Month and the haunting Grammy-winning The Crossroads, Bone Thugs wielded melody as a powerful instrument and used storytelling as a means of redemption. They rapped about life, death, family, and struggle, not just as catchy phrases, but as profound insights. Their voices intertwined like harmonies in a gospel choir, yet their themes remained raw and authentic. Fast forward to the 2000s, where a young Kendrick Lamar absorbed influences from all around him. Growing up in Compton, California, he was immersed in G-Funk, gangsta rap, and the West Coast legacy, but his musical tastes extended far beyond his local scene. He was captivated by artists who challenged the limits of sound and language. Tupac inspired him with his purpose, while Eminem taught him about syllable structure. However, it was Bone Thugs who revealed a deeper understanding, that harmony and speed could coexist. They showed Kendrick that rapping didn't have to follow traditional patterns or strict structures. They taught him that emotion could be woven into rhythm, that rapid delivery could still convey melody, and that technical skill didn't have to come at the expense of feeling. In interviews and public appearances, Kendrick has often credited Bone Thugs-n-Harmony as pioneers who changed his view on musicality. "They were doing something distinct," Kendrick said. "Their flows and harmonies felt like they were rapping from the soul." For someone like Kendrick, who is deeply committed to his craft, this recognition was meaningful. From the beginning of his career, he aspired to create something enduring and timeless, rather than just becoming another rapper. This is why Layzie Bone's response was more than just a simple thank you, it was a form of validation. It established a bond between two generations that both understand the sacrifices inherent in their art. Layzie Bone knows what it's like to be underestimated and sidelined by mainstream labels, feeling the effects of their work without always getting the credit. For many years, Bone Thugs were regarded as outsiders in hip-hop conversations, too melodic, too fast, and not easily categorized into East or West Coast styles. However, time often reveals the truth. Kendrick's acknowledgement helped to shift the narrative, bringing Bone Thugs back into the limelight where they deserve to be. It reminded fans, especially younger ones, that true innovation doesn't always get recognized in its own time. Sometimes, it takes a future icon to shed light on the past. What makes the moment between Kendrick and Layzie even more powerful is that it wasn't staged by the media. It wasn't part of a promotional effort or an award show. It was authentic and spontaneous. Kendrick simply expressed his truth, and Layzie, feeling both honored and proud, responded with respect. Cleveland to Cali, wasn't just a phrase in Layzie's message. It represented unity and cultural exchange between two cities with different music scenes but a shared passion. Bone Thugs emerged from a time when Cleveland had little presence in the music industry, no major labels or executives in sight. They had to fight for everything. In contrast, Kendricks Compton is rich in musical history but also carries the burden of comparisons to legendary figures, with any rapper from there facing the legacy of those who came before. Both groups emerged from challenging circumstances, shaping their identities through authenticity and channeling their struggles into their music. Bone Thugs explored themes of loss, spirituality, and survival, while Kendrick addresses systemic trauma, spiritual conflicts, and fractured identities. Both artists manipulate sound like instruments, bending syllables, stretching lines, and layering their flows. You can hear the influence of Bone Thugs in Kendrick's rhythms. Songs like DNA, Backseat Freestyle, and Mad City showcase tightly constructed verses filled with energy. His smooth delivery over beats, his inclination to sing entire verses, and his effortless transitions between sharp consonants and airy melodies all reflect this influence. This musical heritage didn't appear out of nowhere, it traces back to Bone. Kendrick has always emphasized the importance of respecting history without distortion. He is deeply connected to the culture and is committed to recognizing those who have shaped his artistry. Whether he's acknowledging artists like Ghostface Killah, Andre 3000, or MC8, he clearly identifies those who have impacted his growth. However, his admiration for Bone Thugs stands out, as they were not just rappers but innovators of a flow that would inspire many for years. Layzie Bone's message gained significant attention not for its flair, but because it felt long overdue. There's something deeply satisfying about seeing legends acknowledge each other, especially in a genre that often creates rifts between generations. In an era where the media thrives on conflict and drama, this moment symbolized unity, a generational passing of the torch through mutual respect rather than rivalry. This acknowledgement is important because Bone Thugs paved the way for artists who didn't fit traditional molds. They inspired rappers to think, what if I sang instead? They provided a voice for those who didn't conform to the New York or LA styles but instead merged elements from both. Their impact is seen in artists like Kendrick, Future, Young Thug, and Rod Wave. The melodic evolution of rap began in Cleveland basements and has now reached stadiums. Bone Thugs also brought a spiritual aspect to hip-hop that few groups dared to explore. Kendrick follows their lead, rapping as if conversing with God, embracing contradictions while remaining rooted in Black faith traditions and unafraid to question them. Bone Thugs, The Crossroads, serves as a funeral hymn, while Kendrick's Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst resembles a psalm. The connections between them are profound. Both artists exhibit vulnerability. Bone Thugs openly shared their fears, losses, and grief, and Kendrick continues this legacy. He doesn't hide behind a tough exterior. Instead, he embraces vulnerability in his music, turning insecurities into strength. This emotional authenticity has become a defining feature of Kendrick's artistry, and Bone Thugs helped pave the way for this openness decades ago. In this context, Layzie's message was both personal and collective. He represented a group that often goes unrecognized, despite having a significant influence on the rap genre, and is frequently overlooked in critical conversations. Kendrick's acknowledgement served as validation, not that Bone Thugs needed affirmation of their contributions, but recognition from someone who truly understands the culture carries weight. Kendrick didn't have to mention them, but he chose to do so. Similarly, Layzie didn't have to respond with such humility, yet he did. Their interaction highlighted what true respect looks like: genuine, mutual, and timeless, rather than performative or obligatory. This moment also signifies a notable shift. Hip-hop has developed a complex and rich history. Different generations intersect. The icons of the 90s remain relevant, the pioneers of the 2000s are gaining respect, and today's artists face the dual challenge of influence and expectation. When someone like Kendrick takes the time to recognize the contributions of those before him, it sets a powerful precedent. It sends a clear message: you are not forgotten. You mattered. You still do. Layzie Bone's reference to Kendrick as the GOAT is significant. For someone who has witnessed various eras of hip-hop greatness to give that title to Kendrick speaks volumes. Kendrick has earned this recognition not only through his chart-topping albums and a Pulitzer Prize but also through his integrity, his refusal to conform to trends, and his commitment to his craft. Perhaps this is why Bone Thugs resonates so deeply with him. They too broke the mold and created their own path. From the basements of Cleveland to the streets of Compton, the spirit of innovation thrives. Bone Thugs and Harmony paved the way for Kendrick Lamar to rise, and Kendrick has, in turn, opened doors for the next generation of artists who dare to be different. This cycle of inspiration, a crucial link of influence, was beautifully illustrated in just a few exchanged words between these legends. There was no marketing strategy, no public relations plan, just a legacy honoring another legacy. And that captures the true essence of hip-hop. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.